this is Jasmine with the Love Life Laugh Motherhood.com YouTube channel. So thanks for tuning in, and forgive the no makeup look we have going on today. This mom just has not had the time, but I do have a lot of excitement for this YouTube collaboration for this series, and this is going to be my addition to the Our Family series hosted by Just Maria D. And make sure you check out the other videos that are going to be in this playlist. The theme is pocket money, and make sure you check out Just Maria D's YouTube channel. There's links here for that as well. And I want to give a special shout out to Ingrid of the YouTube Collaborators Group for helping to organize this collaboration. And you can check out her YouTube channel, Mommy and Mia Homeschool Chronicles, and there'll be links there as well. But the theme that I want to share is pocket money. And I think first, what is probably best to do is define what I consider actual pocket money when it comes to finances. Now, everyone has a different way that they do their finances, where you do them per yourself as an individual or as a family unit. So I want to dive into this first by explaining what I consider to be pocket money. Now, the things that I'll talk about apply to us as far as my family. It works for us, doesn't work for everybody, but hopefully you'll be able to take something from this video as I kind of go through it. But this is what we do as far as managing our finances as a family together, and then how we use our pocket money, how we define our pocket money, and how we're able to use it to the best of our abilities. And then just a little bit about me first. I am a mom to one 3-year-old little boy and a wife to a former Marine. He's not in the service anymore. He's been out for a few years. He got out before we got married. But that's just a little background on me. And yes, I do live in South Georgia. So that is not the sound of your computer or your mobile device being weird. That is my voice. So as far as pocket money, I do define pocket money as something that I kind of control as far as what my son has. Now, when he gets a little bit older, we will tweak a few things so that he is more in control of his own pocket money. But for now, like, Mommy and Daddy kind of have to, because he's 3, I don't think he's going to make the best sound financial decisions with that. But we just haven't tried it, so maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. But anyway, this is what works for our family. And I think the first step to figuring out the best way to use your own family's pocket money, or perhaps just your own as an individual if you and your spouse don't pool your money together into the family budget, is to define your family budget. And that is my first tip for what works for us as far as managing our finances and our pocket money. You have to define it first. Now, my husband likes to put everything in an Excel spreadsheet. And you don't have to be like extremely proficient in Excel. You do need to be able to know how to put those spreadsheets together so that everything does balance out and total correctly. So if you don't want to go Excel, you can just use a notebook or whatever you have. And what we first do is actually divide up, organize, and define our expenses. We take our gross monthly income, and that is just everything per month that we earn. And we lay out every bill that we have. Once you kind of have that either in an Excel spreadsheet or on paper defined as, X amount comes out at this time every month, and we detail everything. We have our mortgage, we have, an estimate of what we spend weekly on gas, groceries, utility bills, entertainment bills. My husband even has a certain little allotment just for me. However you want to include your expenses and what are your expenses within that budget, I would say do that first as the first step so you can actually see and manifest on paper or on a computer screen what you have. That way you know what to expect. Everything is accounted for. Every dollar that goes out as far as a bill that is paid is accounted for. And then that total that you have left over, I consider to be pocket money. That is expendable money. You can either set some aside for a savings account or put some aside for your travel fund or whatever it is. But if you have any amount left over that does not have a definition and a purpose, let's say you have $200 left over from your monthly budget that isn't going towards some type of bill or some type of savings account or some type of fund, like a travel fund or a medical fund. I would define that as extra pocket money. That is money that you don't have to worry about if you spend, because nothing is going to be lost from the spending of that money. You know, a bill's not going to go unpaid or anything like that. I would define that as pocket money. That leftover, where you actually appear to have a little bit more money at the end of the month than month left. That would be pocket money for me. Now, the second tip I do have is actually not just separating your pocket money from all your other money for bills, but deciding what to actually do with that pocket money. You might look and say, okay, we have, a couple $100 left. Now, I'm just throwing out figures here. We might have a few $100 left over from every expense that we have. You can take that and turn it into a travel fund, which is actually a really great way to save money towards something that you want to do. If you want to go on vacation, or if you're planning for Christmas, because Christmas is right around the corner, you can then dip into that amount of pocket money that you have, and you can delegate it to something else that you want. And it's also a really good way to kind of keep tabs on everything that you have coming into the account, as far as your budget and money that is earned. And then you can still differentiate from actual pocket money that you don't care about spending. If you discover you have a couple $100 left over at the end of the month, or at what would be the end of your bill cycle, you can say, okay, we can either just play with this and do whatever we want with it and spend it as we need to and not have to worry about it, or we can take half and invest it towards a family vacation or whatever. So that would be my second tip. Once you have defined your budget, is to separate that pocket money and put what you want towards an ultimate goal. Either it be shopping, shopping budget for Christmas or a family vacation or what have you. So after you have done that and you have decided this amount here is what I'm going to have as my spending pocket money for whatever it is I want, Starbucks, toys for the kids, just extra play around pocket money. Take that and cash it out. Now, the reason I say that is because most people have their bills set up, and not everyone does this, but a lot of us, for example, we do have a lot of our bills set up with automatic bill pay. So it immediately comes out of our account the same time every month. We don't ever have to see a paper bill, and a lot of people are going paperless. And there is a great ease of mind with that. We don't have to actually worry about paying a bill. It's more automatic. It's just done. As long as we have money in the account, it's taken care of. Of course, you do want to go back and look, make sure you're being charged correctly and things are actually being charged as should be. But for me, that is it's a total load off not having to organize, more paperwork, and more of a cluttered desk space if I don't have paper bills coming in. All the bills are just immediately paid and I never have to see it. But as far as that pocket money, if you don't want to allot a certain amount for a savings account, say your travel fund or whatever it is, I cash it personally, and I don't carry a whole lot of cash on me because I usually just use my card. So if you are that kind of person that does not want to use any kind of cash at all, and I did this for a long time before I changed, I just had separate accounts, little savings accounts set up for certain things, and whatever I had left in my debit card, after a certain amount, I knew that was my pocket money, and I just had to keep that mental note of, okay, I have, $50 of pocket money that I can just spend this week and I don't have to worry about it. But if that does become too much, or if you're that type of person that likes to use cash, and this is exactly why I started doing it this way, if I only have $20 in cash in my wallet for the week, once that's gone, it's gone. So for me, it's just easier to kind of keep a hold of what I consider just expendable money. Like I can just, if I see a makeup palette that I want, or if my son just wants this new action figure, I can just look and say, okay, I have $20 cash that can go towards that. And then once it's gone, it's gone. The money in my bank account is for bills or whatever expenses that I already have budgeted out. That is not extra money. So cash for me is more like just free pocket money. If I cash that money out, it's not in my account. I don't have to use my debit card for anything that's not necessary. And then I don't have to worry about it, and my finances are not getting a little, haywire and crazy. If I don't have the cash as pocket money, then I just don't have any pocket money. I'm not going to say, you should only keep so much amount in pocket money. That just kind of works different for everybody. Some people are not comfortable walking around with, $100 cash on them at any time, or even $5 cash on them any time. And for a long time I was like that too. So what I do try to keep on top of is, if I do end up with like just a lot of extra pocket money, after all bills are paid and, I've got money going in my travel fund or whatever it is. If it's a large amount, if it's not something I would feel comfortable with in my wallet on me during the day, if I'm going out and about, then I try to put it away. Which we will get to that part in a moment. But if you're comfortable with whatever amount that is in cash, keep it on you. That would be my third tip. Cash out your free pocket money that you have, and that way, if you have it on you and you see something, you're like, ooh, I can just spend that, great. But if you look in your wallet and you don't have any cash, then you don't have any pocket money to spend. And then which brings me to the next tip, my fourth tip here, that note. If you do have a lot of extra cash, a lot of extra pocket money, and you don't feel comfortable keeping it on you, then you need to secure a safe place in your home. And there's actually a couple different benefits to that. A lot of times you end up having like a yard sale or a garage sale, or somehow you just come into, maybe you're babysitting, you just come into a pretty good amount of cash. If you don't have like a small safe within your home, there are actually these different little things that you can buy to hide within your house, like book safes. They have, like a secret compartment with a lock and stuff like that. You can put your cash in there. Not only is this just good for your pocket money, this is good in case of an emergency. Say, something happens and you lose your credit cards, you lose your debit card. It's nice to know that you have that extra cash that would normally just be expendable, but you do have it at home in case something were to happen. So if my purse is stolen or whatever, there is an ease of mind that, somewhere hidden in my bedroom in a secret, safe, little locked place, there's there's cash if I need it for right then to hold me over until I get my credit cards back. So that's just one added benefit to keeping your pocket money in cash secure in your home. And of course you want to keep it somewhere where no one knows where it is, and you don't tell anybody where it is, just because, sometimes things happen. You don't want anyone to know where it's at, but you want to be able to get to it in case something does happen, like, your wallet's stolen or your credit cards get canceled because they suspect theft or whatever happens, because crazy things happen. You have that money at home put away. And if you end up spending it, then it's not going to dig into your finances terribly, because that's your free pocket money. That's something that goes outside of your budget that is not needed for anything. So that's just another added benefit to that. And then another really good thing that I like about keeping cash on hand as pocket money, and that's why I call cash free pocket money. It's not added into, it has nothing to do with that monthly budget of income coming into the household. If I were to sell things like at a garage sale, or if I do babysitting services, people normally pay with cash. I don't have to add that into anything. It's just cash. That's not the normal way that I get income. So, and again, this doesn't work for everybody, but it works for us because none of my income is really cash based. If I get cash, it's like, woohoo, that's just extra pocket money. Another thing that I do want to point out that I kind of do, again, this might not work for everybody, but because this is like a perfect example, I went to Target last week and I got a couple picture frames. One was too big for the picture that I needed, so I ended up taking it back. And because I bought on my debit card, the amount was actually so low, and some retailers will do this. Instead of charging back my debit card, they gave me cash as a refund. I always consider that free pocket money. Why? Because I've already spent the money out of my debit account. So whatever expenses or extra, spending money that I have in my debit account, I don't put that money that I get off the refund in cash back in. That money, in my mind, is already spent because it was spent on my card. It's done. But I have extra pocket money now. So in my mind, and that's just how I like to kind of keep a handle on it, is as long as I don't, for whatever reason, have to put that money back into my debit account to cover a bill or something, that's just free pocket money for me. It costs me more to go to the bank to deposit that $20 than just keep that $20 in cash for whatever else that I need. So my philosophy is, if you have cash coming in, as long as it is not an amount that you're not safe with, I don't put it back into my bank account. Now, if I, for whatever reason, I sell a kitchen table and I make $200, that I would normally either decide to put into my, my cash fund at home for emergencies that's hidden away, or I'm going to put it in my bank account. Just because I'm that kind of person where I really don't want to walk around with $200 cash on me all the time. But, for those little things like, you sell a t-shirt that you wore 20 years ago and some teenager thinks it's vintage and you don't want it anymore and they're willing to pay $20 for it. Hey, that just goes right in my purse, and that's Starbucks for, a couple days because Starbucks is expensive. But that's just how I look at it. As long as it's an amount that I'm comfortable with walking around with, that just goes right in my wallet, and that's my pocket money. That's my spending money for the week. But again, if anything's ever over an amount you're just not comfortable with having cash on hand, put it in the bank or put it in that safe lock area of your house so that if something happens, you do have cash at home that you can easily get to and you're not strapped or in our situation. So those are my tips for pocket money, and that's how me and my husband do our finances, our pocket money. We do pull our finances together, but at the same time, I have certain streams of income that are going to my own bank account, and he does that as well. Again, it doesn't work for everybody. Some families have everything going into one account, and everyone shares that one account, and some families keep everything very separate. One spouse has their stream of income going into their account, and only their stuff comes out of that, and the same for the other spouse. Now, with kids, like I said, my son's 3, so he doesn't do anything with his pocket money. But I have always started a piggy bank fund, and all my loose change goes in that. I don't consider loose change part of my pocket money unless I happen to have a ton of quarters and I just want to use that exact change. But at the end of each week, I do empty out my purse of all the loose change that goes to my son's piggy bank. As he's older, we'll be able to take that and say, here's your, your allowance for the week, or here's your own spending money to do whatever you want to do so that you have pocket money. But because he's 3, what we actually do is take all that change when the piggy bank is full. We go down to the bank and we cash it out, and it goes into his savings account, which we have set up as a college fund, but it goes more with a different kind of video. But eventually when my son turns, of age, he'll be able to either take that account and put it towards college tuition or whatever he wants to do. My philosophy is once you're 18, that's just kind of on you, because not everyone's built for college, but I do want to give him that opportunity. But that is a topic for another video. But for the purpose of this video, for the time being, as he's 3 and has no real concept of money, we have an account set up for him, and we put money towards that, and it'll just be there for him. Of course, a couple years, he's a little bit older, we'll be able to say, here's your own pocket money, either in change and stuff's collected from your piggy bank, and probably, that additionally. But as far as what we consider our free pocket money, after all of our bills are accounted for, he will have an allotment of his own. And then at that point, we'll be able to teach responsibility and, what it means to actually earn money. And it'll be more of a teaching thing for him. So I hope these tips can help. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments of this video so that I can clarify or answer anything. Again, it might not work for everyone's family, but this is what works for us. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and make sure you check out all the other videos in this playlist to see what other families do when it comes to pocket money. And I want to say thank you to Just Maria D and Ingrid for letting me collaborate with you guys on this YouTube video. And I'm excited to see what you guys have going on in your own families and how you handle pocket money. So I will talk to you guys later, and thanks for watching.